Oh no. Oh no. Hey, look, there we go. Greetings and salutations, everybody. My name is Michael Schwan, and welcome to the stream. Today is Sunday, December 19th, 2021, which means it's time for Sunday Creative. And this will be the last Sunday of 2021 that we will be streaming, because the next 2 weekends, I won't be here to stream this in 1 week, and then I will be here the week after that. Well, actually, no, that wouldn't matter, because the week after that is 2022. So next week I won't be here, which is the week of Christmas, and I'll be spending time with family, so we won't be here. And then the next weekend after that will be 2022 anyway, but I probably won't be streaming on Sunday for the next 2 weeks. Just as a heads up. Wow. Dang. Yeah. Well, what are we doing today? Well, one thing we're doing is we are continuing on our Stream Raiders journey, which, let me get Athena's Stream Raiders up. Let me get Athena's Stream Raiders up and running. Move that over there for now. Do I need to do anything special? I need to place archers. This isn't really when I want to be placing archers, so we'll go with the person that can win the game for us, and that is Rem. We will need some tanks. Yeah. Especially need some range. We already claimed those today. Went Rally Warrior with my first one, right? Yeah. So now we need Vengeful Warrior. Nice. Okay. Okay, so what are we doing today? We have been working really hard on... Hang on. Okay. We've been working really hard on getting our Vods finished up, and I had them almost finished up, but some of them went... I wonder if I can still show you. Let me just go into Media Encoder real quick. Some of them didn't want to finalize, and we had a power outage and a couple other things, and I needed to reset the computer for not hard reset. Just reload and stuff while it hadn't finished the encoding before. And so I'm wondering if some of these literally just need put in here again. So if we come in here and look, you can see that they failed. And I tried to figure out the reason why they failed, but it said that it was interrupted. Oh, could not read from the source. Please check if it was moved or deleted. They haven't been moved or deleted, so I'm not sure what was going on with that one. So these are still all ready to go. They just need re-added to the queue, essentially. And then we have a few more VODs to get done, which shouldn't be too much work or trouble or anything like that either. And then we can send off the VODs. We've been uploading them. The uploads already go through mid-January, and we'll have to keep uploading them to get the rest of the way caught up and everything like that. This song's a bit too much right now. So we're going to re-add these to the queue since they all bloody failed. I don't know if these have will fail. But we will, this is what we need to do first. And then I believe the only VODs that were left after that are the Tarkov VODs, because I believe everything else is done. Outside of the VODs that we have done more recently, what's in there? Let me take a look in here. So we got like some Neo 2, some Power Couple. These MKV files can go. Wow. Does this one load? Build games, and then we. Okay. Hold on. For this fight as I thought I was. It's a very awkward fight. I'm just nervous that this is. There it is. Okay. Okay. So, like, we'll need to catch up on this and stuff. Good morning, Cerulean. We'll need to catch up on these two. These I'm not as worried about. These are all much more recent VODs. A good number of them are going to go into series that I intend to upload all at once, such as, like, the Neo 2 playthrough for Two Dead Dudes, the Tales of Arise playthrough, although... Is this Tales of Arise? That's what you heard. Yeah.
He's like, no.
So we got a couple other small things. Like, this is all catch-up stuff. I'm not worried about this, though. What I am worried about is getting these in the list and ready to go so that I can have them processing over the next couple of nights and hopefully getting the rest of everything uploaded through Friday while I'm at work. And that would mean that all of the VODs are basically done, which, holy shit. Holy shit. I'm really glad and thankful that Eve mentioned this like a year ago. Because Eve, I talked to Eve a couple of times, and Eve had mentioned, like, hey, you keep recordings of all of your VODs, right? I was like, yeah, I have literally basically every single stream I've ever done except for a small handful saved locally. And Eve was like, why don't you put those on YouTube so that people can watch them whenever they want? And I was like, I don't know, because I don't feel like people would want to watch it. Because, yeah, but if people want to, then they're there anyway. It's like, all right. It's a good point. What am I keeping them for otherwise? I should get them archived and stuff. So we started, but there was already a year and a half of VODs backlogged that needed to be done. And here we are a year later, just now almost getting done with the project. Which is nutso. But how are you, Cerulean? Are you well? Coffee good. Coffee so good. Where am I going? In here. Let's get rid of that. Here's the Neo 2 stuff. We need to go in here. These are all done. These are what I was uploading last. We need to catch the rest of the ones that aren't loading in here. So let's go here. These should literally just need opened and queued. I shouldn't need to do anything else. Okay, I apparently need to rename them. Thankfully, this shouldn't take long at all. All the work's already done. They just lost their path, essentially. So this one's Guilty Gear. Speaking of fighting games, right now, I think it ends either ended this morning or ends later today. Was the open beta for both DNF Duel as well as King of Fighters 15. And I like fighting games. I don't play them as much as I probably otherwise would like to, mostly because it largely means that I'm either playing against my one other friend that has an interest in fighting games, or I am playing alone, and I'm just not super into that, you know? I'm not super into playing completely alone most of the time. Most of the time, I'm not anyway. But I'm always interested in whatever the new fighting game is, and so I missed the previous open beta for King of Fighters 15. And I was like, damn, I really need to make sure that I get in this one, because it's going to be the best chance that I have to, like, try the game without otherwise needing to invest money in it. And so I did manage to download both of those, and I did try both of those. Although, with that said, I tried King of Fighters 15 for a very short amount of time. It was a very short amount of time because it wasn't bad, but it was definitely not a fighting game that I'm going to be into at all. Unfortunately, like, because it looks really good, and I like a lot of the character designs, but it's really slow. Is the way that I would describe it, is that the game is really slow, and it feels in a lot of ways kind of like Street Fighter. I was happy on one hand because I did try one of the previous King of Fighters, and they were like hyper technical, right? Like just so many directional inputs that have to have frame perfect timings to connect to another piece of your combo. And it looks like they took some of that out to make the game a little bit more approachable to people that aren't able to log 14 directions and 8 button presses into their brain just to do 2 hits. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but not too much of one from whichever King of Fighter game I tried previously. I don't remember which one. I think it was 13. But it was just, it reminded me a lot of Street Fighter, which Street Fighter is like really not my fighting game. They're very slow, and you play a lot of footsie and neutral, focusing on trying to get what little bit you can here and there. If you get the right opening, you can do some pretty significant combos, but otherwise you're just playing this little game essentially of like poking and trying to see if you can find that opening somewhere in there or not. And if you don't find it, then which is not what I like. I like fighting games that really ask you to get in there and do some work and take those heavy risks. And even if you do take those risks, have them not be too punishing if you fail, essentially. And that's one of the things that I thought Guilty Gear Strive really did that hurt itself in a lot of ways, was that if you did a move or tried to make a read or something, or they jumped in and you tried to make a read on them, and if either of you guessed wrong on the very first read, whether it's a bad opener or a bad counter or a bad block read or something like that, the game's basically over on the very first one. Because Guilty Gear, every character has fairly simple combo structures. Hang on. I don't know what projects are still open, but I need them to not... Whoa, there it goes. I need them to not be open anymore. They have fairly simple combo structures, and the damage is really, really high in Guilty Gear Strive, which inevitably ends up meaning that if you have one bad read, one bad move, etc., that you fucking die. You don't normally full on die. What is happening here? There we go. But you'll do one bad read, and then one of you will be at 40% HP from 100 every single time, and you're just like, man, that sucks. Good morning, Scott Scabbers. This is what I'm looking for. Whereas I did try DNF Duel as well, which is the newer game coming out from, I think it's technically being made by Aiding, but it's being published by Arc System Works, which are the people that made Guilty Gear and such. And unfortunately, like, the beta's structure is really bad, so I didn't get to try the game nearly as much as I wanted to. Because going into the beta, there is only one option to play, and it is to play online. And I don't know what it is about fighting game developers that don't understand that all we want to do in your fighting game is play your fighting game. But they insist on making it as difficult as possible to play your fighting game. I'm good, Scott Scabbers. I'm good. I'm a little groggy. For some reason, the word groggy is really hard for me to say. Maybe because I'm groggy. But I'm good. And so with DNF Duel, the beta online, you could only go online, and you had to search for player rooms. Player rooms only had 4 fight stands, essentially, so only up to 8 people could be playing at a time. You couldn't easily tell if there was how close people were to being finished, and you only loaded up like 1 or 2 rooms at a time. Every time you searched for a room, half the time you would disconnect from the room, at least in my circumstance you did, or your opponent would disconnect from the room. It was so hard to just get into a match because of everything that they put in the way of getting into a match. And you're like, come on. DNF Duel hurt yesterday when I tried it. I sure wish I could invite friends to try it out. There were so many DC. It was painful. It was painful. Gonna be lurking as you play some House Flipper? Very well, Scott Scabbers. Thank you so much for the lurk. Yeah, like, I managed to play a few matches, and I literally mean a few. Like, I'll say 3 matches total, but 2 of those matches somebody DC'd in the first round. And the second one, someone DC'd in the second round, or no, it was the third round. So, however much of a match you want to call that, you know, that's how much I got to play. Now, mind you, in that time, I was able to look and like play enough to go, okay, this is a fighting game that I'm interested in. I really like what's happening here. A lot of the things that are happening here seem really great, seem really cool. I like what I'm doing. I like what I'm seeing. It feels good. I was immediately able to just jump in and feel comfortable at home with a fighting game, and that's really cool. But damn, was it difficult to actually play. Only played like 2 or 3 to their fullest. 80% of my playtime was just waiting in an hour. Yeah, it was awful. There was no training mode. There was no quick match. It sucked. It sucked. It was the same problems that we had with the initial Guilty Gear betas, and we had to tell Arc System Works then, like, yo, all of this? Stop it. Quit it. We don't want none of this. We don't want any of it. Quit. Stop it. Stop. Stop. Please. Please stop. Stop. Please stop. And like they did listen a little bit. They did add essentially like I'm gonna call it a quick match. It's not a quick match in Guilty Gear Strive, but you are able to auto matchmake while you're in the training room, which, you know what? Good enough, right? Good enough. That's something. And it works. And they did add a rematch button, which is good. Like DNF Duel already had it. Has it right now, the rematch feature, which is good. Although I hope that they have it without needing to set player room rules. They didn't show any evidence of what if they're going to have any type of ranked ladder, and if so, how that's going to function. I do like Guilty Gear Strive's Heavenly Tower. I feel like that was a pretty good system. But you know, who knows what how they'll approach that moving forward. I do like the lobby system with the avatars, certainly better than Guilty Gear Strive's ugly lobbies. Yes, yeah, they were pleasing, but I don't know if it's like fighting game developers feel the need to try to recreate the arcade feeling. Like, I'm going to walk in this arcade and play this dude sitting at a machine, and it's like, it's 2021. Just throw me in a match and let me fight somebody. But yeah, the lobbies were nicer, but I also don't care in general for fighting game lobbies for the most part. I just want to hit I'm perfectly happy with just menus that just say beat the shit out of me, right? Please, can we fight? Please, can we fight? Okay, those are redone now. The Hunt Showdown ones are the other ones that failed. Those are all reset. Oh, right. We need to redo little. Okay. Let's get in here. Okay, we got one of them that worked. And one of them that tried. Okay. I really wish I could have gotten to play more of DNF Duel, and like I probably if it wasn't getting in its own way so much, I probably would have played more DNF Duel, but it was too much work to get to do something that I just wanted to enjoy. I was happy to see rollback. The rollback felt good. The gameplay felt good. It felt like they had some good netcode going on. Just it was too difficult to actually play against other people. Arc-sys fighting games, though, they're so pretty, yet they make so many other why decisions. They really do. They really, really do. And it's unfortunate. I don't feel like Guilty Gear Strive is actually their best work. Visually, probably their best work. But in terms of actually a mechanical fighting game, or the mechanics of a technical anime fighter, I don't feel like it's their best work by a pretty significant margin. I feel like Guilty Gear Strive is one of the most accessible fighting games, but that also really hurts it, in my opinion, in a lot of ways. BlazBlue Central Fiction, which is also made by Arc System Works, recently got a rollback update. So you can now play that online with good netcode. And I have been playing it online with good netcode. And after playing BlazBlue Central Fiction again, it reminded me why I love BlazBlue, but also it made it so much more clear to me why Guilty Gear Strive was just not my game. And one of the biggest reasons is character identity. There are very visually striking and visually different characters in Guilty Gear Strive, but the identity of how they play is the same. almost completely. Once you've learned how to play one character in Guilty Gear Strive, you can basically play all of them with limited exception, because the game is really simple. Like, really simple. Now, you can make it more complicated when you learn how to do, like, Roman cancels and stuff like that, but the problem with the Roman cancel system, it's well done in terms of, like, how it functions, and it works way better than any way that they did Roman cancels before, which is great, because I never could grasp Roman cancels in previous Guilty Gear games. I can grasp Roman cancels in Guilty Gear Strive. However, every character only has like 1 or 2 combos. And I literally mean like 1 or 2 combos. And those combos will do 40 to 75 to 90% of the opponent's health bar. And none of them are difficult to execute outside of very limited exceptions. And all Roman cancels does is let you do those same combos again. You're like, boom, bam, boom, boom, smack, combo done, Roman cancel, boom, 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 smack. Like, you just do the same combo again because it's the most easy and efficient thing to do. And it means that most of the characters have no gameplay identity, and that hurts so much. You want to play BlazBlue Central Fiction again, but Guilty Gear hasn't been able to grasp me still? You're just a one-trick pony? Well, I mean, nothing's wrong with being a one-trick pony. Like, I'm largely a one-trick pony in BlazBlue. Jin. I play Jin. I've played a lot of the other characters, but I really fucking love playing as Jin. I love playing as Jin a lot. But with BlazBlue, one of the biggest things is that every character has such a strong identity. And I don't just mean what they look like. Their Icecar, yes, Icecar. Their gameplay identity is so distinct. You can learn the ins and outs of how to play Jin, right? You can learn how to play Jin through and through and be like, man, I'm so good at Jin. And then you go pick up Noelle in BlazBlue, and you will not be able to do fucking anything. Like, outside of the core fighting game knowledge of, like, does light, medium, heavy combo? Yeah, light, medium, heavy combo is probably for every character, but that is the most basic combo. And anything more complicated than that, you're like, oh, nothing that I do on Jin works on Noelle. Whereas if you go into Guilty Gear Strive and you learn the ins and outs of Kai Kisk, the guy that I play in Guilty Gear, you learn the ins and outs of Kai Kisk, and you're like, all right, I know how to play Kai. I'm going to go try somebody else. And you're like, all right, I'm going to go pick up Soul Bad Guy. Guess what? You probably know how to play Soul Bad Guy. You'll need to, like, see what supers do what or what inputs do what. So you're just going to need to, instead of, forward down to forward, you're going to need forward down to back or something like that. But otherwise, you can play every character in Guilty Gear Strive once you've learned one of them. And it does not apply in BlazBlue. And so when you're playing Jin, you feel like you're playing Jin. When you're playing Noelle, you feel like you're playing Noelle. When you're playing Ragnar the Blood Edge, you feel like you're playing Ragnar the Blood Edge. When you're playing Hakumen, Terumi, Hazama, Kokonoe, whatever, you feel like you are playing that character. Whereas Guilty Gear Strive, no matter who you're playing, you feel like you're playing Guilty Gear Strive. You don't feel like you're playing Kai Kisk in Guilty Gear Strive. You are just playing Guilty Gear Strive. The characters so much feel like small variations, like really expensive skins that give you different gameplay visuals rather than genuinely unique characters. There are some small exceptions to this in Guilty Gear Strive. Most of them are the DLC characters because that's where they put their more technical, complicated people. So people like Gold Lewis, whose all of his inputs are half circles. Jacko, where you gotta manipulate the puppets, or Happy Chaos, who has an ammo system. Like, those people are more unique, but even then, still at their core, their actual core combo structure and system still revolves around you are playing Guilty Gear Strive. Noah of a Million plays differently from Rachel Alucard, which plays different from Mai Natsumi. Yeah, 100%. you will like it. You can go take one character from Strive and play another one, and largely have a very strong foundation to be passable with that character. You can know one character in BlazBlue and switch to another character, and you don't have a foundation. You won't achieve much with that character until you start to learn them, and that's one of the things that I think makes BlazBlue such a good game, because you can find a character that speaks to you, that you're like, yes, this connects with me. Whereas like I connect with 0 of the characters in Guilty Gear because I don't connect with Guilty Gear, which is funny, by the way, because I connected with characters in Guilty Gear Xrd. But I don't in Strive because all of their individual identity has largely been lost. And I mean gameplay identity specifically. Let's do this. It's time to murder. Murder all the snowmen. Okay, and then while we murder, I'm going to go refill my coffee. Two packs of 50 gold, either which give me yours for 420 channel points. Most kills myself with 10, followed by Faithful Imprint with 7, and then a tie between iWaxy and UserBot 78037. Most assists to Athena with 5, followed by UserBot with 4, and then Scott Scabbers with 2. Going random on the gold in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Scott Scabbers with the gold, Athena with the other set of gold. You already got it, Scott Scabbers. Giving you your points back. What is she? She's a range unit. Okay. We'll get it. I'll be a big front man. That damn 5-second delay worked in my favor. Damn right it did. Maybe that's why you haven't really caught into Guilty Gear Strive. No one sticks out to a playstyle that you would like. Xrd felt better, probably due to a bigger roster. Still looking for someone on there. I have a few candidates at least. I really liked Kai in Guilty Gear Xrd. I also liked Bilia a lot in Guilty Gear Xrd. And both of them, like, visually, they look better, and they still are who they are, right? In Strive. But gameplay-wise, they're not the same. They're not the same people that they were in Xrd. And it's not even like, oh, you know, they're slightly different. It's like, no, they don't feel the same at all. So I was very sad when I went from enjoying Kai a lot in Xrd to going, I guess you'll do in Strive. But there is nobody that excites me in Strive. And I don't think anyone will, just because of the way that they've designed the game. Haven't played much Guilty Gear. I have not actually played that much Guilty Gear. I have played a bit of Guilty Gear Ascent Core after it got rollback. I played a handful of Xrd, and I mean, we can fucking look at how much Strive I've played. It's not actually that much. This is Athena's account. BlazBlue is definitely the fighting game that I've played the most. Why am I re-logging into Athena's account? I've played more Strive than I thought I had. I've played 35 hours of it. That's way more than I thought I had. Honestly. The same problem also exists in Melty Blood Type Lumina. That game I was really looking forward to because it looked like a nice, good technical anime fighter that was coming out and had rollback, and I was like, yeah, let's see what Melty Blood has for us. This new Melty Blood game, and it's even worse than Strive in that every character literally fights the same way. Now, that said, Melty Blood Type Lumina uses a lot of auto combos. A lot of auto combos. And so when you have a game, and when you have a fighting game that uses an immense amount of auto combos, and those auto combos are all executed with the exact same inputs, it means that every character actually is the same. The only thing that, like, Melty Blood, I'm amazed that that game was, like, put out in that form. Every single character's auto combos have the same inputs, and every single character's supers have the same inputs. So the only things that really are different is the visuals and some of the timing that you need to do to, like, chain one auto combo to the next auto combo. But otherwise, everything is literally the same. And I'm like, whoa. And so it's the same problem of that, oh, I like the way this character looks, but this character has, we'll just say, I picked this character first because this character has the visuals that I like. I played them. I don't really like how they play. Who else do I like the look of? This person. Hold on. This person plays exactly the same way as character A. Okay. Wait, character B plays literally the exact same way as character A. Okay, well, I like the way that character C looks. How does character C play? The exact same way as characters A and B. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, if I'm not jiving too hard with the apparent core gameplay structure, then guess what? I guess we're not freaking enjoying this game at all. So we didn't play much Melty Blood. But yeah, it's definitely the reason why I still love BlazBlue immensely. Because every character's gameplay has so much identity. So much personality in how you play them. Not just what they look like, not just what they sound like, not how they act, not their interactions, not their voice lines or anything like that. How they play. And that's a hard thing to get sometimes. Which, like, I can understand in a lot of ways why, like, for instance, like, I'm sure developing Melty Blood was easy as shit, right? They didn't have to think too hard. After they got the base everything down, they're like, sick, and now copy and paste. Let's make them look different, right? So, I mean, I imagine development for Melty Blood was probably fairly inexpensive and fairly easy. And Strive had different hurdles that it had to overcome for its development. One, it has a very unique visual style that is actually using Unreal Engine 4 in a 3D space to create a 2D fighter, so that probably was a learning hurdle in and of itself. It was also part of Arc System Works learning how to do rollback. But after that, it so much of the other things that actually make up the core experience of the fighting game itself just feel very lackluster to me. Mikey is not the same as actress again. It's her kit with the specials. That's not the one I'm used to. Saber does feel like how she used to play in Fate Unlimited codes, which is cool. I didn't play that one, so I don't know. I also didn't try all the characters in Multi-Blood type Lumina because after I realized that they all were very close to being the same outside of like their range differences and a bit of timing on their auto combos, I was like, well, it didn't hook me enough to even want to try to find the character beyond that. I played Arcued for like 10 hours and then stopped. Fate Unlimited Codes never had a Western release. It was a PS2 game. Ah. Makes sense. I'm also not into Fate at all. Like, really, honestly, like, whatsoever. Developed by aiding, just like DNF Duel, which is interesting. Yeah, I'm interested in DNF Duel. I wish I could have played it more because I want to know if it's more of what I want. There was a Marvel. There was a Marvel game, I think, that was made by aiding. Marvel vs. Capcom 3? Yeah. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was made by them. They also made Bloody Roar. No wonder I like their frickin' game so much. I fucking loved this game. Bloody Roar Primal Fury. This game was fucking great. I really enjoyed Primal Fury a lot. And then Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is also very good. Yeah. The fact that it's made by aiding, I think, bodes well for us. Here's the Fate Unlimited codes that you were talking about. I didn't realize aiding made Bloody Roar, Primal Fury, or just the Bloody Roar franchise in general. That makes me happy. I liked those games. I liked those games. Characters' playstyle fit their characters in the anime. I've only seen Fate Zero, but after watching Fate Zero, I've decided that I don't want to watch anything else that Fate has to offer as a whole. Like, I finished that, like, I forced myself to finish that anime, and then went, okay, well, I don't really care for this for a few different reasons, so I'm not going to watch anything else that's in this show, or in this franchise. I like a lot of the character designs. The characters are fucking cool looking. I like the concept of the franchise. Kyrie fights with his fists and throwing blades like the time slowdown fight in the Dark Knight room. Gotta remind myself which one Kyrie is. Ah, okay. This guy. The core, well, fucking everyone's a bad guy in Fate Zero. There are no good guys, but he's the bigger of the bad guys for all intents and purposes. The bigger of the bad guys. He was actually one of the characters I hated the least. Just been like, you want to know why? Like, I hated him the least because it's like, oh, you're just evil. You're not like fucking weird or like sadistic in a horrible way. You're just evil. All right. Like, he's one of the characters that I actually didn't mind that much in Fate Zero. What the fuck is the main dude's name? Can't remember his name anymore. Yeah, Kiritsugu. I hated this guy. Hated him. No, I like Gilgamesh. He's fine. No, in like all of the servants, I didn't mind. Like all of the servants, I thought were fine. Like even Castor, who's like, you know, crazy as shit, right? Like even Castor, I didn't mind. It's all of the masters that I fucking hate. Like basically all of them. The servants were fine. It's the masters that fucking suck. Bunch of gross people. The masters and the people around them. Okay, that's fixed now. Did we do these yet? Are they in the list here? They're in the list. Okay. I don't know if these are working, but we'll find out. Well, we won't find out live on stream, but we'll find out later. This is a mess in here. This only goes up to 9. Where's stream number 10's right there. Okay. Let's start burning through these now. There was also, like, the main reason that I don't do anything else with the Fate series, there was some things that happen in Fate Zero that I'm like, well, that's disgusting, and I don't want to support things that do that sort of stuff in such a way anyway. Ugh. Why, hello there. Yoink. Where are we? Face Day Night did start out as kind of an H visual novel. What does H mean? H is in that Honkai 3D. I went with a very different word. That is actually not that different. It's very nice and adjacent. Senpai, but with an H and a T in there instead. Tai Hen. If that's true, if Fate Stay Night started out that way, that makes a lot of sense. Like, that makes a lot of sense as to why some of the themes exist in the state that they do for the regular series, and also makes sense as to why it's, like, not very comfortable for me to watch. Like, because there's some shit in there that I'm just like, nah. This ain't it, fam. This ain't it. But if that's the case, the anime kind of... See, that's the problem. It kind of hides it. It wears it on its sleeve and has it, like, kind of just tucked underneath. If that's actually the case. That's the way that it feels in a lot of ways. Good morning, Eve. I had breakfast and dinner, and now I just want to curl up and sleep again. Isn't that the true holiday spirit? It's cold outside, and we're eating tasty food, and it's warm inside, so you're like, you know what? You know what our solution is? Fucking sleep. You're just like, yeah. The first anime of Fate Stay Night substituted this scene with dolphins. Oh. Okay. Very well then. Did this just fucking crash? I can't do anything else with my computer. I think Premiere's crashing so hard that it's telling my whole computer that it needs to go die. Just, here you go. Dolphins in the ocean. And maybe Saber's past. Okay. Alright. Sure. Yeah, okay. You know, I never knew that before. And that makes sense. because there's some scenes and some themes that I've only seen Fate Zero, but even in that, there's some scenes and some themes that I'm like, would not have known had I not read about the background. And I was like, oh. I think this video is Borked. What's this? The back end of the stream.
Okay. So we are back.
Okay, we will move on from this. I'll see if I can re-encode that video and save it later, but it seems like that video is the deaded. Fate, isn't that those extremely high budget animated? Yeah, that's what we've been talking about for a while, Eve, is Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero, Fate Unlimited Blade Works, Fate Unlimited Codes, Fate Unlimited again, I don't know. Fate Grand Zero. Grand Order. Fate Grand Order. Grand Zero, lol. The very first anime was not very high budget, but they got quite a bit of budget for everything else. Like Fate Stay Night. Like, haven't they redone Fate Stay Night though, Cerulean? Like, I know, I feel like they did. I feel like they've reanimated it. I feel like I remember reading something like that. I'll never watch them do their stupid naming senses. Same with Bakemonogatari. Like, how am I supposed to know which one to start? I saw this, like, infograph of, like, how to watch Bakemonogatari so that you can actually properly, like, get it in relative order. And I'm like, wow, okay, whatever. They have, like, a full chart. I wonder if I can literally just Google it and find it. It was this one, yeah. It was this image. Like, this is how you watch Bakemonogatari. In this order, apparently. Is the correct way. Now, thankfully with the Monogatari series, it like every single graph or information piece or whatever or explanation I've ever seen for how to watch this has always just started with this one. Every single one I've only ever seen start with this one, which is helpful. I've seen people argue about what to watch after watching Bakemonogatari, but besides that, like, this is, I've seen some variations on this, but this one is always first, which is nice. That is not the case with Fate. That is not the case with Fate. But with this one, I've always only ever seen people put this piece at the front. Whoa! Oh my god! How's this for you, Eve? Oh my god! Again, though, still starts with that one. It still starts with that one. But see, like, you can see how this one has changed. That, like, 'cause that other list had this one, this as the second thing you should watch, and it's way the fuck down here. But again, this one's the front. That one's still the front there. But holy shit, the fuck is this? It gets worse. There are 3 routes in the Fate Stay Night anime. First anime is more or less the Fate route, then came in Unlimited Blade Works movie and anime, which took more of that Unlimited Blade Works route. The 3 or 4 movies that came out recently are about the 3rd route of Heaven's Feel. It's probably the most, oh no, things have gone poorly. One thing I will say with that, with what we just saw, so this one is a watch order, and it just says watch them in this order. Obviously, this is pretty subjective, right? This one is a watch and read guide. So, like, if you were just looking for watch, the watch is actually just this top line here, right? Start with this one, which is what everyone has said to start with, and then it just continues along this way, right? Everything down here is all reading stuff, which, like, Tokyo Ghoul watch read order. Because, like, Tokyo Ghoul is worse, because Tokyo Ghoul you need actually to watch and read both. Okay, watch and read order did not work correctly. Oh, here it is. Sort of. Tokyo Ghoul's really complicated to get in order as well. I don't see as good of graphs for this, though. Hot damn. Well, if it isn't Vandisha. Me totally not 3 a.m. awake because of booster shot. I'm amazed that the booster shot has you awake. Most people I know, it has them asleep. I hope you're doing okay, though, Comfy Red. Hello, Vandishar. Welcome, friend. Gave up around the middle part of Tokyo Ghoul. I've never watched any Tokyo Ghoul at all. Whatsoever. Yeah, when I decided to look into the Fate series, I talked to some people and, like, looked some stuff up. And everyone everyone at the time anyway, kind of universally agreed that Fate Zero was a really good entry point just because it kind of establishes a foundation for what happens across all of the rest of the series. Like, it's almost like a prequel to what happens for all of the other branches in a way, which is why they said to start there. It's also a decent budget, good animation and stuff like that. But little did they know that it'd make me not want to watch anything else in the game at all ever again. For use the polar opposite. Also, a certain magical index, I think I tried to watch that 2 or 3 times, but I never get to the parts I want. Get to the parts you want? Did you see, like, clips or something online and you're like, I want to see that, and then you just never got to see that? The Ice Queen is kicking our ass. Please kill her. Thank you. Surprisingly, still can lift your arm. Yeah, the booster shot, like, so it was interesting when me and Athena were getting our shots, right? So I'm compromised. My respiratory system sucks. I have pretty chronic asthma. My lungs not good, right? So we're like, man, we got to be careful because COVID might just fucking kill me, right? Like, no questions asked. And so we have actually been working from home and staying home and not doing anything or going anywhere since March 13th of 2020. So we are, what is that? 21 months of personal quarantine, essentially, because of safety reasons. And we've been vaccinated since we were able to get it and stuff like that, but we kept quarantining for the betterment of everybody else, you know, like, because vaccinated people can still spread it and stuff like that. 50 gold and 2 berserkers, either which can be used for 420 channel points. But so we got our first shot, and the first shot hit me really hard. Like, I was really, like, drained and tired, and my arm hurt really bad for, like, 5 days. Like, I was still functional, but I was not terribly useful for like 5 days after the first shot. Athena on the first shot got it. Arm was sore the first day and was perfectly fine after that. We got our second shot, and the second shot, like, my arm hurt for like a day or two, and I slept the evening that we got the shot. We got it in the morning, and then after that, I was perfectly fine. Athena, on the other hand, slept for like 2 days straight. Like, 2 full days. Like, was good the day we got it, and then the next day, just slept for 2 whole days. Just... And then the booster shot, my arm barely even hurt. I was like, yeah. And then Athena slept for a full day again. So, like, we expected that to be reversed, that I would be the one that's just like, ugh. But no, I ended up being all right from the shots. So, and Athena's the one that had a little bit more work to get through. Of course, her body was probably trying to get, you know, extra credit for, like, look how good we can kick ass. Because she's so fucking badass and she's an A+ in everything. So her body was like, oh yeah, you taught me how to kick this thing's ass? You're asking me to show you how good I can kick this thing's ass? I'll show you how good I can kick this thing's ass. And proceeds to just go into overdrive. It's just like, ah! Because that sounds like something that her body would do. All right. Thank you, Scott Scabbers, for the 6 placements. Going random. Scott Scabbers with Berserkers. Cerulean with the gold. Back to the map. Fell asleep in the computer chair after Tarkov. Guess my ass is going to be glued here. A true soldier. Proud of you. Ooh, a token chest. Man, I want that token chest, but I'd rather have the... Do I want the token chest or the skin chest? 18 days? 2 weeks? I think I need to go for the token chest because I'm going to be missing a week of streams. The Electric Girl. Mind you, Eve, I know nothing about... I know absolutely nothing about a certain magical index whatsoever at all. So, I don't know who the Electric Girl is. But I'm sorry that they didn't show up in time. I only isolate myself in the Fate series with what goes on in Fate Stay Night, which includes Fate Zero as a prequel, and I don't know what FSN is, unless that's still Fate Stay Night, but with a different split on it. You also have asthma, Cerulean? Hopefully yours is nicer to you, as like a weird way to phrase that is. Mine's fucking rude. 2 jabs, it was just sore arm, no fever, no anything. Then second shot just knocked me out quite well. Now booster, I can't even sleep. Somehow I have fever, but not so much. It's probably your body just literally thinking that it, instead of being gently taught how to fight, it's thinking that it genuinely needs to, and is like, I shall kick all of the ass. Because your body's trying to be a badass, Comfy Ren. Your body's like, yeah, I'm ready to beat wholesale face. And you're like, you don't got to go this hard. It's like, wholesale face. Beat some ass. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess we're good. Okay, you're beating ass. Congratulations. Yeah, I'm so strong. Maybe I should be worried that my body was fucking lazy with the booster shot. And it's like, whatever. First shot was maybe a minor headache. Second shot was like, oh my god, my head. See, it's weird. It was opposite for me. Second shot, Vandashar had 103 temperature and was laid out for like 48 hours. And yeah, now I'm starting to get worried that because my experience was so much different from the norm that something didn't work correctly for me. Third shot was half as bad as the second shot in every aspect. Doctor said your immune system went into kill mode. Right, which makes me worried that mine didn't. Makes me worried that mine was like, that's too much effort. And I'm like, wait, no, please come back. We need you. Don't do this to us. How much green is it over there? I'd imagine the cold and the snow is good for your asthma compared to where more greenery, unless you react to what? Well, I grew up in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma has a lot of farming, and wheat dust is extremely fine, and that always agitated my asthma really bad. Pollen agitates my asthma really bad. But it's better in the winter, but the problem with the winter is that the cold doesn't help. So if it's particularly cold and I go outside, if it's too cold, my lungs will want to like close up. If it's just decently cold, like I would say between 20 degrees Fahrenheit to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, that's a great place for me to exist in. But once it gets to like 0 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, my lungs get more unhappy than if it was green and warm. And then if it's over 50 degrees, I'm mostly okay as long as I'm not being too physical. Unless it's a particularly like high allergen pollen point in time. My lungs are really freaking bitchy is the thing. They're fucking bitchy, whiny little bastards. Would like to see Fate Atraxia anime, which that visual novel is a sequel to. I don't think I've ever heard of Fate. Is it Atraxia or Ataraxia? Ataraxia sounds like a disease. Mine was intense 8-hour shivers, fever, and coldness, then nothing on my second. My first, I just laid out for 12 hours. We're all turning into super soldiers. My mom's trigger was perfume and cologne. My asthma can also be triggered by some sort of ingredient that is specifically in Febreze. I don't know what it is. We've never tried to find out what it is, but something in Febreze makes it hard for me to breathe. Don't know what it is, don't know why, but something, and like Glade, like spray, like freshness spray or whatever. Nope, it is something specifically in Febreze brand products. Good morning, Timden. Top of the morning to you, and the rest of the day to yourself. Just wanted to make a joke about Last Breeze. I work with them, though. Don't do that. Probably feeling the same as me with the asthma at those temp ranges. I mean, I've lived in a lot of climates. I was born in Colorado. I lived for 14 years in Oklahoma. And Oklahoma would get up to 116 degrees Fahrenheit and as low as like 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Constantly windy there. All ranges of humidity. I spent some time in California with the United States Marine Corps. In San Diego, so Southern California. And then I've been here in Alaska. My asthma has been better than anywhere else here in Alaska. Like, far and away better than anywhere else here. But, that said, it's still not great. But I can definitely breathe a lot easier day to day here. So my friend reseated the GPU RAM and it's still crying. That's why I give you everything. Hold you close by the stormy seas and the world today. If it's still crying, It reseated the GPU and the RAM. The fact that it's booting up Windows and then dying when you try to log into Windows. It boots the loading screen. Are they still able to get to the sign-in screen, Dimden? Because you mentioned before that they were able to get to the screen where they sign in or like put in their password, and that was when it died. Is it not making it to that point anymore? It's still making it to that screen? Are they still able to type in their password and then it dies? Like it dies when they type it, like after they type in their password and click like sign in or whatever to Windows. No, never got to type in the password. Died before he got the chance. It dies immediately upon that screen opening. Do they know how to boot to BIOS? Do they know how to boot their computer straight into the motherboard's BIOS? Has he tried booting the computer in safe mode? Like, here's the first thing that I would do. Boot to BIOS and have it run in BIOS for like 5 minutes. Like, just leave it on the BIOS screen for 5 minutes. If the computer doesn't crash on BIOS after 5 minutes, it's not the motherboard, because the motherboard would need to be running the processes to operate the BIOS. Once you're in the BIOS, you can boot into safe mode or into Windows safe mode. If it boots into Windows safe mode and will launch Windows and will go into Windows in safe mode, then that means that something is weird is going on with Windows. If when it tries to boot into safe mode and it still crashes when you're trying to boot into Windows safe mode, that makes me think that there is something wrong with the hard drive. But, so, it used to be like F10 and sometimes F2. It depends on the motherboard. But when the computer is booting up, he should be able to hit one of the F keys and go into his motherboard's BIOS and be able to see, like, his back-end settings. Different BIOSes have different keys. I'm used to them being F2 or F10. You correct that they have different keys, though. But yeah, have him boot into BIOS. If it crashes in BIOS, then it's most likely that his motherboard is dying. If his BIOS runs properly and it doesn't crash in BIOS, then his motherboard is probably fine, since he already reseated his RAM and reseated his GPU. Unless one of the RAM sticks has gone bad, that leaves the hard drive and the CPU. I don't think it's the CPU, since he is getting into Windows, which makes me think that it's something either with his Windows install or it is the hard drive. Do you know if he's on a solid state drive or if he's on a mechanical hard drive? Windows is on an NVMe, so like an M.2 drive. So that's a pretty new drive. So I doubt it's the drive then. Did he ever find out if he had other RAM sticks? Everything else is split between SSD and HD? Okay. Because the fact that it's getting Windows open and then crashing makes me think that it's RAM. I know he reseated his RAM, but it's making me think that it's RAM. Because if his RAM has gone, if one of his RAM sticks has gone bad, the computer will just get fucking pissed and shut down if one of the RAM fails. He could test this out as well by pulling individual RAM sticks. Like pull out one stick, see if the computer boots. If it doesn't, put that stick back in and pull it out and just like keep going through the RAM sticks. And after you've done the combination of your RAM sticks, if it's still happening, then it's probably none of your RAM sticks, or it's all of them, you know? But the fact that it's making it to Windows and then crashing means that it's so hard to fucking troubleshoot this shit. It's not hard. Okay, that's not true. It's not hard. It's tedious. It's fucking tedious to troubleshoot this. And I'm not like saying like I'm not complaining about you bringing me the issue and asking me to help solve the issue. I'm complaining about the issue itself because computers, motherfucking computers, man. I'll get him to do this shit later. He's at Christmas lunch with a girlfriend's family. Yeah. No, it's fine. Like, these are all just individual things to try to diagnose what the problem could be. Trying out individual RAM sticks. If I don't know how many RAM sticks he has. If he can, the computer might run slow, but he can boot the computer with one RAM stick at a time. I assume they're at least 8 GB sticks. So if he's putting in one stick at a time, if he'll pull them all out, put one in, and see if the computer will boot. If it won't, try them all out individually. That's going to be the fastest way to test the RAM sticks to see if they're all good. If it still won't boot, then put all the RAM sticks back in. But I would start first with the BIOS thing. Put in it. Launch it into BIOS, leave it in BIOS for a little while, and Windows boots with as low as 1 GB of RAM. Right. It'll run slow as shit if on like a 4 GB stick, but we're just trying to get the computer to work. So, yeah. Have him pull one of the sticks out. If it doesn't boot, switch the sticks. If it doesn't boot, put them both back in. Boot to BIOS, leave it in BIOS, I would say for 5 to 15 minutes to make sure it's not the motherboard crashing for one reason or another. If it doesn't crash in BIOS, boot it into Windows Safe Mode. If it won't boot into Windows Safe Mode, that immediately makes me think that something is wrong, probably with the hard drive. If he can, you can move your Windows install in the boot system, or if you have another Windows install on like the SSD and boot through the SSD or something like that, there's a chance that his M.2 drive is just faulty. But the fact that it's initially booting Windows and then crashing makes me think that either using some form of memory somewhere is causing the computer to crash, or something is wrong with the Windows install. And it might be that he needs to reinstall Windows on his M.2 drive, and something is just wrong with Windows as well. He did update to Windows 11 like a week ago? Fuck. Maybe that's it. I'm not saying that's it, but I'm saying that might be it. Windows be that way. Yeah, Windows be that way. You right. Never get, yeah, it's really interesting to me that I remember when Windows 10 came out, and I remember Microsoft talking about Windows 10 and being like, Windows 10 is the last Windows. Instead of doing any new editions of Windows, we are just going to continuously update Windows 10 and move to Windows as a definitive version that gets major updates moving forward. And I was like, oh, cool, no more new versions of Windows, awesome. And then here we are like 8 years later that they're like, Windows 11. And I'm like, well, that was a fucking lie. Not that I'm surprised, though. I'm pretty sure they went, man, we were making a lot of money off of selling new versions of Windows. I think we should do Windows 11, guys, so that we can make money again. When's Street Fisticuffs Sace? You will probably see some sort of information about that maybe next year, Cerulean. You might see an announcement for Street Fisticuffs Sace at like EVO 2022. Presuming EVO happens. But yeah, I would expect... Here's what I would guess. In summer 2022, expect to see something along the lines of like a 30-second announcement / teaser trailer that just basically shows no gameplay, maybe a moving cinematic with a title card and no release window. That's what that is, I think, your greatest hope for Street Fisticuffs Sace. You know something curious about this is that this file is probably not going to process. Hang on. Let me save this. Save queue. That's a good face. Don't pause people while they're talking. Just saying. I don't even know if I can remake this face intentionally. Oh my god. Look at this guy. Anyway. Okay, let's see if this crashes right here.
So I look like kind of.
Sure does. Found some med tools. Good job, Vanishar. Get out. Finish crashing, please. There you go. But, so yeah, with Street Fighter 6, Cerulean, that's what I would expect. Sometime in the summer of 2022, a announcement / teaser trailer. It's very short, shows very little. Maybe like a cinematic shot of Ryu or something. And then it just says Street Fighter 6, like now in development. I would not expect even a release year at all. Luke, the most recent DLC character for Street Fighter 5, they announced him as the future of Street Fighter. He plays very differently from the way that the rest of the Street Fighter characters do in Street Fighter 5, and he's setting the groundwork for how they want to move the Street Fighter franchise forward. But they had a lot of complications due to the pandemic with the development of Street Fighter in general, which makes me think that Street Fighter 6 is probably farther away than anyone wants it to be, and I would not expect to see the game soon. Like, maybe, and I mean maybe, the end of 2023 is when you can maybe think to see Street Fighter 6. But that might even be pushing it. Like 2024, I think, is probably more reasonable there. As much as that like sucks, like that's probably a more realistic outlook. Trailer, 15 seconds. Ryu, 6. All right, that's a right. No, like, if you get anything, that's what you're getting. If you get anything, that is what you're getting. As much as that, like, sucks, which I would rather them just not do that, personally, because I really dislike when the trailers are just, like, not trailers. Just don't. Stop it. Get some help.
Anyway, so yeah, today is Tuesday.
There we go. That looks together. We'll see. Like I don't know if this video will make it or not, but what I do know is that we at least got past that section, and so maybe we will make it farther. Looks like Cerulean. I haven't watched it yet. We'll watch it on Tuesday. But you put in that trailer for Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, and like I'm so fucking sick and tired of that game not coming out. That game was supposed to come out in 2019, and like I understand that some shit has happened, but that game was announced in like 2016 or some shit, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm tired of this game not coming out. Give me the game. Two med tools. You found it. Oh my god, you lucky son of a bitch. You so lucky. Congrats on getting out with those. Saved yourself at least $500,000. Not out yet. Get out. Yeah, I don't even fully remember when Grand Blue Fantasy Relink was initially announced. It wasn't even called Relink, it was called Project Relink. And I'm like, I want to play that. But I feel like it was 2016. And now I'm not the only one who finds them. I found one in my pocket. I spawned in as a scav with one with a set in my pocket. I was like, oh my god! Watch the reaction live or via YouTube cut when it happens. I'm not too hyped about another SF game. SF? Oh, Street Fighter. Sorry. Okay. Ugh. My brain did not put together, like, we moved back to Street Fighter from Grand Blue, and my brain did not bridge that gap. Street Fighter 6 was just a joke tie into the Windows 10 or 11 updates. Yeah. I'm bad at jokes, though. I'm bad at jokes. Ask Eve. Eve will tell you. Evil put jokes and like even write it in like derp text with kappas on it, and I'm like, all right, so if that was a serious sentence, blah 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 blah, I'll respond to it like it's a legitimate statement, and Eve like twice over will be like, I was joking, but all right, keep going, I guess. You had things you wanted to say. That would be a really good topic of conversation. Eve, thank you for bringing that up. Let's discuss all of the intricacies of what was just said. It was just meant to be a joke, but okay, I guess we're talking about Street Fighter now. Cool. Was not my intention, but all right. I mean, a topic is a topic, right? Pretty much, Eve, which is why, like, I have such a hunger for discussion and conversation that I think that's why my brain omits that something could be sarcastic. That I'm just like, yes, conversation, discussion, let's go. You found one in the duffel bag in the gazebo in Ollie. Is that where you found the first one? So you found one in the gazebo duffel bag and one in hidden stash? Okay, they must have updated them to... Well, I mean, we can just fucking check. They must have updated them to be in duffel bags, because I don't believe they were before. Logic! Give me your answers. Okay, meds were nerfed. Punisher Part 6 nerfed? You can't... Oh my god! These assholes! You can't do Punisher Part 6 on Factory. Okay. It doesn't look like anything has been said by Logic, but let's see. Impact grenades were added to Sturman's stash. Hunting matches were added to the plastic suitcase. Hunting matches were removed from fucking everywhere? What? Interchange, factory, woods, shoreline. What? Okay. There is now more loot on woods. Sturman has a higher spawn chance on woods. Factory has less loot now. Tagilla spawn has a higher spawn chance at night. Okay. Nothing about med tools. They might have always been in duffel bags. No, just nobody ever fucking saw them or found them. Also, I didn't see the meds changes. Golden Star takes more of your energy. Serve 12 gives you less HP back. Logic, your changes aren't in here, dog. Where's the meds changes in here? They in here? Yeah, here they are. Let's see. HK has more recoil. Painkillers, the shitty painkillers take more hydration. Vaseline takes more energy. Damn near twice. Oh man, that's a heavy hit to Vaseline. Vaseline now takes almost 10 energy and hydration when using it. Ibuprofen takes almost 20 hydration. CMS kit leaves you with less HP. Serve 12 kit leaves you with less HP. Pain. Okay. Don't see anything in here about the... Yeah, they made some of the armors heavier. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. They must have always been in there. It's just probably a really rare chance. I mean, you can get graphics cards out of duffel bags. It's just rare as hell. Okay, while this battle runs, I will run to the bathroom. Be right back. Oh no! Scott Scabbers had the 6 placements though. We got murdered. Let's try again. Yeah. Surprised I never considered the Zibbo Parter trade for the M67 grenades, almost comparable to the Spotter Part 2. It depends on the price of Zibbos right now, but Zibbos normally are expensive enough that it's not worth the barter trade. I don't know how much Zibbos are right now, but most of the time Zibbos are 10K or higher. And you need 2 Zibbos for 1 grenade, so that makes the grenades 20K a piece instead of the like 7K they are once you've unlocked them from Spa Tour Part 2. Zibbos were like 6K. That means they were just low. Which, I mean, if they're low, by all means, you know, go do it to it. But that's why we never really considered it. Yeah, it's why I've never really brought it up. Can we play, or is it like, or is that not a good spot? Wonder if that wasn't a good spot. Guessing that wasn't a good spot. Yeah. Zibbos normally maintain a decent price. One, because of that grenade trade. Also because they're used in the fuel craft. There's something else that they're for. No, I guess it's just those 2 things. But you need 10 of them to craft the blue fuel. And when blue fuel goes up to a good price, which it eventually will, once blue fuel, when blue fuel isn't 40K and is instead 140K or higher, these go up. Because then you can craft blue fuel, and the Zibbo's price is connected to fuel's price because it crafts fuel. Since fuel is worthless right now, Zibbos are extremely cheap. I think they sell to vendor for like 5K, so they'll probably never sell for much less than that. But fuel is worthless, so price of Zibbos is down. When I first started playing Tarkov, one of the very first like events before they didn't announce it either. It was just like a test that Nikita did on the back end was the fuel shortage. And that was such good timing for me because I was such a noob that most of the thing that I did almost all the time was scav into customs and loot like file cabinets. And you can get things like Zibbos and cricket lighters out of file cabinets. And Zibbos, and because you could craft fuel with them, Zibbos and cricket lighters were selling on the flea market for like $50K a piece. Because people were doing anything and everything to try and get some fuel. A metal fuel can. A single metal fuel can. Because like I remember a single metal fuel can was selling for like $700K or more. I think it, like I remember seeing $750K plus for a single metal fuel can on the flea market. How long did the fuel shortage last? It had to be like for 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks. The thing is though, like if you look on the flea market, most things on the flea market on Tarkov, there's normally not that many of most things on the flea market. Like there'll be like 2 pages, 3 pages, maybe. And if there's not and which means that if there isn't a healthy amount of things filling in the back end of that, that actually can empty extremely quickly. So if fuel stops spawning entirely, the flea market will be empty of fuel within a day or two. So like the fuel shortage might have only lasted like a week. I don't remember anymore. Would you finish crashing, Premiere? Holy shit. But there's not normally very many things that actually have an extremely excessive number of pages on the flea market. And maybe Mo don't do like us and have a full agenda at all times. Probably not. Which is what, at least 3.5 days with metal fuel at generator 2, something like that. I wasn't where I am now in terms of like knowledge or grind or anything like that. So for me, is this the one that I need? Yeah. For me, I was doing a lot of fuel conservation in terms of doing the whole thing of like turn on the generator, start the craft, turn the generator off type stuff. Which, I mean, it fucking worked, right?
Medical containers.
Okay, I need to cut it a little bit earlier to keep it from crashing. Oh, it's going to crash before I can do that. Come on. Thank you. You still here? Yeah, we seem to still be here. So I need to cut this more like back here. Is that enough? No. Well, maybe. So short now. Still doesn't want to play. Makes me think it wasn't enough. Third time's the charm. I think that might have been the third time, but don't worry about it.
You don't need. Do you need?
Just cut it there since it's playing there. Seems to be broken on the other side as well. We save that. Will you save? So what I'm hearing is buy all the lighters you can early on in the wipe of Tarkov. We haven't had another fuel shortage since that one. It hasn't. They haven't done that again yet. So there's not a need for it right now. There's not really any way to really properly like plan for shortages, because the shortages that happen in Tarkov, there's no like evidence to them approaching, you know, like there's like, oh, you know, we can see the ruminations of something happening in terms of price spike. The problem is that right now there's just no price spike. And like even when fuel does go up because more people will be buying and using it, it won't go up enough that you will want to try to make a large profit off of lighters. Because like one, if you buy a lighter off the flea market in Tarkov, you can't then sell it back on the flea market. Everything has to be found in raid, and there's no way to craft lighters either. So the only way that you could stockpile lighters to try to sell to make money would be to try and keep all the lighters that you find when you're running the raids. So you couldn't buy all of the lighters right now for 5,000 rubles, and then when they go up to 10,000 rubles, sell them back on the flea market to double your money. Like you just literally can't do that. The other part of it is that it would be really difficult to like know when something's actually going to go up ahead of time. You can't plan for events like a fuel shortage either, because there's just no real indication of what could cause it, especially because it's really just at the whim of the developers to be like, and this doesn't spawn anymore, and you're like, well, shit. Man, what the fuck? This is just like not cooperating, is it? Oh, God. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm still not cooperating. Crashy washy. We'll just eat a bigger chunk out of the other side. There we go. Pain in my assholes. I'm hungry. Might need to go grab a granola bar or something in just a second. Ow. It would seem that this is one of the streams that we were having internet issues or something like that, and that's why it is a whopping 28 minutes long, but that's okay. Means that this one was real quick and easy to do. Finally got all those internet problems fixed. It only took forever. And again. It's alright, it's making us get through the rest of this project really fast. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna refill my coffee and grab a granola bar. Yeah. Hello. I am back. I have refilled my coffee and gotten my granola bar. Did this load? No. Cut it there. To there. Okay, that seems to have worked. Save that. Fuck. I wonder if I can do that now. Seems to have worked. See if it actually works. Ew. I've only had this happen like once or twice before, and it's awkward as shit. Hmm.
Well, my brain really doesn't want to go to reserve,
No?
so I clicked the wrong map twice.
Make sure you leave your melee slot opened and then...
I did.
Okay.
You're getting another brother.
I'm
Chest everywhere.
buy like the handguards at all because it's the only way to buy it. I don't know because Dark had dropped back to Overwatch the building.
I'm seeing if this works right here. Seem to have. Alright. I don't expect this one to actually, like, make it when I go to render it. Last one? The battle's still preparing? Yeah, 2 minutes. Okay. Song goes so fucking hard. Scott Scabbers with the 6 placements. Thank you so much. Let's get this. Epic healer. No one dies. Cerulean's got that Saint in there. Good work, everybody. Looked useful. I just got a Saint. I'll just suck on them. All right, we got 15 gold and 3 archers, either of which can be yours for 420 channel points. Most kills going to Athena, tied with Scott Scabbers at 13, followed by El Canadiano with 5, and then myself with 2. Most assists going to Vanishar with 5, followed by, looks like a 3-way tie between Green Crayon, El Canadiano, and Scott Scabbers. And then we have a 2-way tie between Athena and Ruben, 2111. Going random on the scrolls and the gold in 5. I don't know whether or not to continue upgrading my archer to 30 because I have over 1,600 scrolls for it. Do you have a level 30 archer yet, Scott Scabbers? Like, is this a dupe or is this something else? the first, I'd keep going then. If it's the first one, I'd absolutely keep going. Alright, Scott Scabbers wants the gold. We'll go random on the archers. Go into green crayon. Back to the map. And then we need to do this. Do that. There we go. I still need to place archers, but that just doesn't feel like it's gonna happen. Guess I could have done it across. It would have fit across as well. Oh well. People got the message, right? Done there. Done there. Okay, so that's all caught up then. We have 2 more Vods that need handled. Those are done, those are done, those are done. So we have the 24-hour stream right here, but the more important one is this one. So let's... Why is there 2 projects? Why is Judge Swan in here? Okay. That looks fine. I don't know why it didn't actually render properly then. This footage, like this footage is not, like this full playthrough footage right here is not it. Like it does not work. So if we go in this project, let me look at the beginning. Let me just cut off the beginning because it was in the very first like 40 seconds that it didn't want to work. Let's do that. And now let's try to export that. See if that works. All right, and now we have one last VOD, and I hope that we can manage to do it in the 25 minutes that we have left. Because if so, that means the VODs are all done. Well, all of the backlogged VODs are done. But I also am curious to see just how this fucking goes. So we're going to do this, and we're going to see what happens when we try and put over 24 hours of footage into Adobe Premiere. If the stream goes down, you know why. All right, I pulled him in. Let's see if it generates the peak file or not. It's going to take it a minute to read it all. Dang it. I'm going to go look at that while we're waiting. Someone still have my name? Yes. Give me my name. That epic vampire, though. Did I place for Athena? No, I didn't. I will be shocked if it manages to generate the entire peak file. The reason I say that is, like, I've noticed that a lot of a particular period of time, which is also when the 24-hour stream happened, that we were using XSplit, we had a lot of files that just didn't want to encode properly when they were being recorded locally, and I'm not sure what the reason for that was. Since moving to OBS, we haven't had that problem, which is another really nice, like, side benefit of switching to OBS. But anyway. But with all that said, though, what we want to see is we want to see the entire file have a peak file for it, instead of what we've been seeing with some of the footage that we've been dealing with, which is where you'll see peak generation and then it goes flat. The audio is still there. It just had a problem reading it. Due to encoding issues, which, if it's only a one-time problem, then it means that I can cut out like 30 seconds around it and then it'll encode just fine. The problem is when that happens, we can't see if it has happened again. And so with 24 and a half hours of footage, the chances of it happening at least once are higher. I will be very ecstatic if it does work. But I do not expect it to work. prediction for it, I have no idea. It's so random. You know what? I'm gonna predict that it generates a full peak file just to spite me in all of the things that I just said. We're at about 55% right now. You can see the progress bar down here. I mean, as in for the channel points, we've not really done many predictions in general, just because we normally have pretty small groups of people. I think we tried once or twice. I don't know. I know Eve had tried to do a couple at certain points in time. The problem is that I remember a couple of times, like, we had like 7 people watching, but half of them were mods, and it was before mods were allowed to vote. But mods are allowed to vote in channel point predictions now. They're just not allowed to choose the result. All of the mods can vote, and then the streamer has to choose the result. Come on. Let's see it. Let's see it. What are we at? 75%? This is the last VOD that needs done. Is this 24-hour stream. And I've been putting it off for what is probably largely obvious reasons. One, it needs cut up into multiple parts. YouTube won't accept videos that are over 12 hours long. They also won't accept videos that are over like 100 gigabytes. And it is, even if I cut it in half, it would be like 12 hours and 15 minutes, which means that it needs to be cut into smaller pieces, so probably thirds. And also, if it was cut in half, the pieces would be too big even still, because a 12-hour VOD would end up being like 140 gigabytes. We're at like 90, 95%. Come on. You can do it. $99. Oh, I think it failed right at the fucking end. Like, we see all of this, and then I see it flatten out over here. Okay. Well, let's do this. What is this right here? All right, this is a perfect break spot then. So here's how we're going to do this. So we're going to cut this. Don't worry, it's not going anywhere for that long. Grab this. Go like this. Dissolve. Dip to white. Bam. Save the project. Export. Where is it? Here it is. $20-12-30 24-hour stream part 1. Cancel. Let's go in here. Save as 24-hour stream part 1. There we go. And now we do this. Hit save. Go like this. 60 gigs. Queue. That goes in there. If it can get in there. There we go. Save the queue in a media encoder. Now we go like this. Okay. And now we go like this. Ripple delete there. And now we save this section that we have here. Save as part 2. So that it's technically a different project. And then we find a spot in here. What is this? That looks like a good spot. We cut that. Right there. And we take this off. Put that there. Go like this. Part 2. Cue the second half. Save that. Then we go like this. Then we go like this. Bam. File. Save as part 3. Now, we do have a problem in that it won't let me zoom in on that section at the end. And I don't know why. When I zoom in at, like, I can see the peak file here, but as soon as I get over here, the peak file just disappears. I don't know why. I wonder if we can find... Oh no, it's still there. Okay, I'm just gonna guess that it read the whole thing then, and it's just bugging out because it's so big. So we're just gonna do this. We're gonna dip to white. It's still there, I think. Is it somewhere back here that it died then? I guess not. I think it's just a bug because of how long the video is. Alright, so then if we queue that, do that, do that. Cue that. And then with this, with these projects here in Adobe Media Encoder, this is the last of the VODs. I'm going to move Little Nightmares to the top, though. This is the last of the backlog VODs. This is all of them. This is all that's left. There's nothing left after this. So once these encode and I get them all uploaded, we're done. The VOD project is done. There's none of this that needs done anymore. This is all done. So what that will leave in terms of VODs moving forward is the VODs. It has taken, yes, you are correct, Eve. It has taken a year to catch up. You made the initial suggestion about a year ago, and it has taken about a year to catch up. And that puts us here. So the VODs for about the last 2 months. This is all stuff since we switched to OBS. For the most part, some of the OBS stuff is already done. There is some things on backlog. So like if we go in here, here's Neo 2. Neo 2's in here. Because I already have so many things on backlog, I just haven't started working on Neo 2, and then I'll just upload Neo 2 as one big block because we're already... The VOD channel has one video going live per day, and there is already a video live per day for the next month. And then there will be another video in terms of what I still need to upload and schedule, plus what's scheduled. There's at least another month's worth that needs to go up. So by that time, fucking Neo will be done. Neo 2 will be done, and the next, at least the next Soulsian game will probably be done, because most Soulsians are not as long as Neo 2. So yeah, and then, so we got Neo 2 here, Tales of Arise here, and then some Tuesday and Sunday streams in here. But those are not nearly as... Dark Souls 2 was longer? I don't know. Let's go look. Let's go look. This fucking thing. Ranking by views, it's number 1 of 10 with 0 views. I love how it fucking shoots off fucking... Wee! Yay! Where is Dark Souls 2 in here? Dark Souls 2 was 12. 12 streams for Dark Souls 2. We are on 19 for Neo 2. Let's see here. Let's see. Bloodborne was 9. Dark Souls 1 was 7. Dragon Quest 11 was 25. 4 for The Surge. 7 for Hollow Knight. 26 for Persona 4 Golden. 10 for Nier Automata. 12 for Dark Souls 2. 10 for Code Vein. 27 for Yakuza Like a Dragon. 8 for AI. 11 for Neo. 4 for Star Wars. 11 for Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is in weird bits, though. I guess it isn't as weird of bits as I thought. For the least, yeah. Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order. It's not a very big game, and we chunked through it pretty damn quickly. So yeah, Neo 2 is currently the Soulsian that has taken us the absolute longest. And it hasn't been for lack of progress. It has not been for lack of progress at all. We've been rolling through Neo 2. I've only had 2 bosses in the entire game so far that I would say genuinely, like, gave me a bit of, like, made me slow down, which is the stupid, I don't even know what it's called. The stupid chargy thing that we refought on Thursday. That one took me a little while. And then the boss that almost made me that if I was not streaming, I would have quit playing the game. The boar. I'm gonna put boar in quotes. It's called like Grookey or something like that. Yeah, the boar and the man with the staff. Are the only 2 bosses that actually took me a moment. Well, I just took a drink of water, but I'll take another one, Dark. Thank you so much. But otherwise, we've just been really keeping... The train has not slowed down much in Neo 2. The game's just that frickin' big. The game is just that frickin' big. And we have 16 bosses still to go. Just got out of some hunter matches. Should I sell them for 250k? No, because you'll only make like 30k. That's the reason that people are doing barter trades for those hunter matches, is because they're valued by the game at such a low price that it's really hard to make a profit off of them. 90k profit? That's not enough profit. Honestly, Dark, what you should, like, unless you just really need money, if you don't need them, save them for our friends that need them. Because I think everyone besides me needs them really bad. So if you don't need them, make deals with our friends, because everyone else, I believe, needs them. Okay, so what do we have looking forward to in the Neo 2 DLC? Because we have 3 pieces of DLC, which is going to be a total of 5, 10, 16 bosses. So looks like at least 3. The sky is blue. You know what that means. Time for push-ups. Thanks, Real. So we have, it looks like, relatively speaking, 3 duels-ish. I'm not sure what this is. Hey, El Canadiano, things are well. And then we have Nue coming back from Neo 1. At least 3 duels, including like a Ren Hayabusa fight instead of Ryu Hayabusa, which is funny. I'm guessing these are duels. This one might be a duel, but it's the Lightning Gods of Yomi, which I'm guessing not. We have the White Tiger fight coming back from Neo 1, and this looks like maybe a monster of some sort. And then the first Samurai, we have a repeat of the first boss. Okay. This could be a duel. I'm not sure. That's a duel. That might be partially a duel. Okay. Interesting. I'm curious how long this DLC will actually take us. We will start it on Thursday. Well, maybe start it. We have some side quest stuff to do first, but we'll see how this DLC goes. Hopefully it is more approachable than the Neo 1 DLC was, in that it's actually approachable at all. in that it's actually approachable at all. What is this, Ravenmane? Lightbender bomber? This thing looks neat. I unfortunately don't know what it's supposed to be, though. It looks kind of naughty. Okay, this actually looks kind of like really naughty, because like I'm thinking this is its face and is looking to the left, and it's like holding its own tail and like gyrating. I don't know what this is. It's neat, though. All right, and then while this battle goes, I will do my push-ups that Real has given to me. I wasn't kink shaming nothing. Kink shaming is my kink. 2 bombers and 1 buster, either which can be yours for 420 channel points. Most kills going to El Canadiano with 24, followed by Scott Scabbers with 7. Thank you, Scott Scabbers and Bookman, for those 6 placements. Third place kills coming from Vandashar and K-Cat once. Most assists go into Athena with 8, followed by Bookman and K-Cat with 5, and then Speedy Misha with 3. Honestly, Curse seems to be bad outside of PvP. I have seen people use Curse in dungeons for the bosses. My Saint seems useless. Cerulean, you need to check your gifted skins. Go check your skins. And assists are hard to get in Stream Raiders, just as a heads up. El Canadiano with the busters, Cerulean with the bombers. Well, shoot. You now have a useless Saint. All right, so we're going to close that down. We're going to go over here. Go like this. Go like this. See if my wonderful... See what of my wonderful friends are still streaming. It appears that Francie has gone offline. Looks like Kiki is streaming, though. Okay, we're going to go visit Kiki the Geeky. They are wonderful. Understand they won't take anyone's shit, though, just as a heads up. So, what's happening moving forward, though, before we head anywhere, before we go anywhere, before we do anything? So, we will not be here next Sunday or the Sunday after that. So, our next Sunday stream is going to be January 8th. And so, because we got holiday plans that are happening, and as a heads up on that, so we have 2 things that we need to like make plans for. I've been focusing really hard on trying to get these VODs caught up and finished because it's been such a long project, and I wanted to get these done so that I can focus on other things, which we're there now, which is awesome and incredible and great. And now it just becomes part of my regular workflow to do that, essentially. Instead of needing to catch up, I just put the new VODs into a system to work them out moving forward, which is going to be so much easier than trying to do all this backlog work. And that's a huge project that as soon as this back end stuff of like encoding the VODs and actually rendering them and then getting them uploaded after that, boom, done. You say I don't take anyone's shit, but I have a lot of shit to give. Damn it. Anyway, so I won't be here next Sunday or the Sunday after that, but we do have 2 things that we need to do, which is we hit our sub goal, which means we're going to have another full playthrough stream, which will be voted on by the community. Additionally, we have a gameplay request from Eve for us to play Little Nightmares 2, which will also need to happen, and we will start to schedule that and figure those details out after we get back. I will also be going physically back into the office starting in January, which means that the Tuesday and Thursday streams will be happening later in the day instead of happening at 4 p.m. Alaska time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. They'll be starting around 6:30 Alaska time, 7:30 Pacific time. So it'll be later in the day for most people, whatever that means for you in your time zone. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Well, if you're used to us starting at a specific time on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you're going to need to move that forward by at least 2 hours because of me needing to be in the office and the commute time and everything that goes into that. So just as a heads up on that as well. I will be here on Tuesday for Tactical Tuesday playing games with friends. I don't know what we're playing. There's a very good chance that it'll be Halo, just so that you are aware on that. Athena will be here on Wednesday. So if you want to hang out with Athena for Wind Down Wednesday, they will be here. I will be back on Thursday for Two Dead Dudes playing Neo 2. And then me and Athena will be here on Friday for Power Couple, although it probably won't be at the normal Power Couple time. It'll probably be earlier in the day. Friday is Christmas Eve, and we also have things that are happening moving forward after Christmas Eve and stuff like that. So we will probably be streaming earlier in the day, and then neither of us will have streams for a little over a week after that. So she won't be here on that Saturday, and neither of us will be here from that Saturday through the following Sunday. And then that following Tuesday, which is going to be Tuesday, January 4th, I will probably be back. And then the normal stream schedule for both me and Athena will move forward from there. So be sure to follow us on Twitter, jump in the Discord. If you need Athena's things, they are here. And yeah, so I appreciate all of you very much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love content creation. I love doing this. But the thing that makes me love it the most is when people are here hanging out with me and talking to me about anything, whether it's me and Cerulean talking about fighting games for an hour and then talking about anime for an hour or whatever it ends up being. Thank you so much for being here. We're gonna go visit the Kiki the Geeky. If you are a subscriber to this channel, that is the raid message. It does not work if you are not a subscriber because of the way that emotes work. I do hope that Twitch one day will allow us to make it where follower emotes can at least be used like 5 minutes after a raid or something like that. That'd be really sweet because that would make things like raid emotes even easier and more involved for people that maybe can't afford a sub or whatever. So I'm gonna go like this. We're gonna go raid Kiki the Geeky, give them some appreciation, and I will see you all on Tuesday. And thank you all very much. Peace out. Oh no, did they go offline? They looked like they were still playing. No, they're still there. I didn't cancel it. Try it again. You already have a raid in progress. What? I can't see the raid though. I guess it's gonna go automatically, but I can't see it. Let's find out what happens, but I definitely don't see it in here. What if I go to my channel? I don't know what's happening. It said the raid got canceled. What if we try it again? You already have a raid in progress. You're a liar. I tried that. I tried retrying it Cerulean, and when I put in that command, it says you already have a raid in progress. I feel like it should have taken us already if we were going to go, though. It, like, the countdown timer is not very long. Something went wrong. Try running that action again. Twitch, you already have a raid in progress. feel like we should have went already. Can you make it so that people can't raid you? I wonder if... I don't know if that's an option, but I wonder if Kiki the Geeky has it set where they can't be raided. But I don't know. I'm gonna try it one more time. Some people don't. It says I already have a raid in progress. Well, here's what we'll do, okay? All right, here's what we're going to do. To those that want to quote, raid, to those who want to, quote, raid, I'm going to put the link to Kiki the Geeky's channel here in Twitch chat. And on a countdown, who wants to go over will go over. They won't get the notification or anything like that. I'll put the raid message back into chat so that if you're a sub, you can... do that, which, hang on, let's give some subs real quick to some people that need them. Let's give some subs to some people that need them real quick. Give me just a moment. So there's that one, if it'll let me. It's not even gonna let me give subs right now. The fuck. Twitch, why are you an asshole? I don't understand. It won't let me gift a sub to Scott Scabbers. I'm trying. I think Twitch as a whole is just big borked right now. I don't understand what's happening. I can't gift a sub to Scott Scabbers at all. I'm trying. It won't let me. Complete purchase. I don't understand. Alright, well, you know what? You can redeem 100 points for raid emotes. I did not know that, Cerulean. That's fucking genius. I do have a... What is this? Choose an emote to unlock. You're right. That is genius, Cerulean. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Alright. You're fucking smart, dog. You're so fucking smart. Okay. Nice work. Okay. Okay, so there's Kiki the Geeky's channel. We will raid over there, and I'll give us a countdown. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Sorry for that weird shit, because that's fucking weird. Raid Kiki the Geeky. Oh, there it goes. It's working now. Haha! I don't know what happened. I just tried it again, and it worked this time. We got there, fam. All right, I don't know. I'm not gonna question it, but let's go before it doesn't work.
Thanks for the
Swan, thank you for the raid.
Would you like a fresh poisson?
I don't know if I have any mods, but can we get a shout out for Swan? We don't want to throw that away. I might need that. Hi.